So, metformin, the use of metformin has come up several times in conversations with women this week. So, I wanted to come on and chat about it and what that might mean for you if you are trying to work on your fertility, if you're trying to conceive. So, let's chat about what you need to know about metformin and trying to conceive. So, my name is Crystal Melanson. I am a board certified holistic practitioner and a functional fertility practitioner. And metformin is a prescription drug. So if you don't know about it, we often get prescribed metformin if you've been trying to conceive and struggling and they aren't really sure why, or if you are having issues with ovulating. Often if you get the diagnosis of PCOS, they will prescribe it, or if you are overweight, they will prescribe it. And so what the goal is metformin, it works on your insulin response, so your blood sugar response, how you are metabolizing carbohydrates, if you have insulin resistance. And why this is very important is because your blood sugar response, it affects your hormone balance. So it affects your production of estrogens and testosterones and progesterone. But it works directly on your ovaries, right? So how your ovaries respond to important hormones to initiate and have healthy ovulation. It's very important for your ovarian response. It is often, if you have poor insulin response, you can struggle with high testosterone levels. And in general, it can cause a lot of inflammation in your body. So it is incredibly important to have balanced blood sugar if you are trying to conceive. And so that is the goal of prescribing metformin, is to try to get your body to respond better to blood sugar, to carbohydrates, to sugars in your diet, right? Now, why this can be problematic is it's not that there's anything wrong with metformin necessarily. It can work, right? It can work. I know many people have gotten pregnant off of it. It can work. But the issue is that, like with a lot of prescription drugs, is it's covering up the main issue, right? It's covering up the underlying issue and trying to force your body to act in a different way. So it's covering up the issue that you have insulin resistance, that you have poor blood sugar control, right? And just taking the medication is not going to fix that, right? It can force your body to ovulate sometimes, but it's not going to fix the issue. And why this becomes problematic is we have seen that using metformin to get pregnant can result in issues in pregnancy later. So you might be at a higher risk for gestational diabetes. You might be at a higher risk of preeclampsia, right? Weight gain during pregnancy. Also, it can affect the baby and their own blood sugar response after they're born, their future health, right? So it is very important that we still understand what is the main issue that's happening. Not only that, but long term, we know that poor blood sugar control can increase your risk of cancers, endometrial cancers. And just using metformin, it can be rough, right? There can be a lot of side effects, especially digestively. So digestive side effects like diarrhea and cramping, it can be quite severe for many. So what we want to come back with is, if you are using metformin, let's collaborate. Let's still work on the underlying issue of, well, why do you have poor blood sugar response in the first place, right? Let's work on that at the same time. Let's understand how your body is responding to foods. Let's understand what type of carbohydrates you should be eating, what foods you should be eating. Let's lower inflammation. Let's work on gut health so that we can be working on the underlying issue at the same time so that you can have a healthier pregnancy, right? Or healthier ovulation to get pregnant. Or, working to help support your baby and their future health as well. Or we can actually avoid using metformin altogether. And there have been many natural approaches, use with herbs, different supplements, when we are working with your diet, that have been shown to be just as effective and sometimes even more effective than metformin. So you have options. If you've been told that you need to take metformin, do know that there are other options you can explore to avoid it altogether and try to work on working on your fertility naturally. So you do have that option. But also know that if you are using metformin, let's still support you, right? Just like with anything else, if we're doing fertility treatments, if we're doing other meds, let's still support from the actual underlying issue so that we can help your overall health and your long-term health at the same time. So I'm curious, if you've had experience with metformin, if you've been told that you need to use it, please comment below or shoot me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And any questions that you have on this, shoot me a message. I know that it can feel really complicated when we're working on these things, but it doesn't have to be. We can lay this out on a step-by-step way. And when you learn about your body and how you should be eating every day for long term, right, we can get sustainable results and you can feel so much more confident in what you're doing to support yourself and your baby, instead of just taking a medication alone. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and don't be shy. Reach out and we can chat about how this might work for you.